Prayer and Praying Men by Edward McHenry Bounds, Chapter 16, Paul and His Requests for Prayer. One other item in this request is worth noting, that we may be delivered from wicked and unreasonable men. Such men are hindrances in the way of the word of the Lord. Few preachers but are harassed by them and need to be delivered from them. Prayer helps to bring such a deliverance to preachers from unreasonable and wicked men. Paul was annoyed by such characters, and for this very reason he urged prayer for him that he might find deliverance from them. Summing it all up, we find that Paul feels that the success of the word, its liberty and largeness, are bound up in their prayers, and that their failure to prayer would restrict its influence and its glory. His deliverance from unreasonable and wicked men, as well as his safety, he asserts, are in some way dependent upon their prayers. These prayers, while they greatly helped him to preach, would at the same time protect his person from the cruel purposes of wicked and unreasonable men. In Hebrews chapter 13 verse 9, Paul thus opens his heart to those Hebrew Christians in asking them to pray for him. Pray for us, for we trust we have a good conscience in all things, willing to live honestly. In this prayer request, Paul's inward consciousness of his integrity of heart and his internal witness to his personal honesty came out and are a basic truth of his Christian character. No room for blame does he find in himself. Pray for us. Your prayers for us will find in me honest integrity and honest execution and honest administration of all prayer results. The request is intended to stir up the saints to more earnest praying, more devotion to prayer, and more urgency in prayer. The request is intended to stir up the saints to more earnest praying, more devotion to prayer, and more urgency in prayer. Prayer must affect his visit to them, would hasten it and enlarge its beneficial results. Paul is on the most cordial and freest terms with Philemon. He is anxious and expects to visit him at some future day and makes the appointment. He takes it for granted that Philemon is praying, for as this man had been converted under his ministry, it is assumed that he has been taught the Pauline lesson of prayer. He assumes also that prayer will open up the way for his visit, remove the hindrances, and bring them graciously together. So he requests Philemon to prepare a lodging place for him, adding, I trust through your prayers I shall be given to you. Paul had the idea that his movements were hindered or helped by the prayers of his brethren. The book The Prayer and Praying Men by Edward McHenry Bounds ends here.